Well, hello there, good evening and welcome to the fourth and final qualifying session here at One Hub Racing for Season 14. My name is Alex Lilliart. Very happy and pleased to join One Hub for this season on F1 2019, and I'm sure we're going to get some absolutely fantastic racing across all four of the tiers. Myself, I'll be doing solo commentary for the Prestige tier, but before we do start, we will have a few drivers in for the grid walk. This isn't going to be the most polished thing in the world. This is very, very new to me, but hopefully in the next coming weeks and races I can get this nailed down and I can have a nice flow through this. So we've already got one driver in here. We will invite a few more as it comes. So the first one I've got in here that selected the Red Bull car for tonight is Owen White. Owen, very good to have you in here, and good evening to you. First questions first of all. Qualifying night. Obviously there's quite a lot of pressure on this. You've got 30 minutes to post the best time you can to try and put yourself in the highest tier possible. Any thoughts going into this so far? Are you feeling the pressure already, or are you just excited to finally get this season underway?
Well, I'm feeling a bit of the pressure, but seeing other people's times tonight has put me a bit more at ease, because I think I should be around their pace. So I think I've done enough practice. I hope I get sort of the tier I want, so hopefully all goes well. Yeah,
we've already seen, obviously being the fourth and final session tonight, all the drivers competing in here obviously have a good gauge. They've obviously watched the other streams or seen the lap times come in. It seems to be, if you want to get into the Prestige tier, the highest one, you've got to be setting yourself something in, well, basically a 1 minute 27 something to have any sort of chance. Are you feeling confident about that, or is it maybe a 1:28 is more your level?
I want to be in the 1:27 sort of at least, because I was on TT and I was able to do sort of, consistent 26s, but you only have 3 attempts here, so I'll be happy if it's a low 27 at least, because I think that should get me where I want.
Okay, cool. We've already got one comment that's come up on the stream. BB Plays invite me. What is your PSN? We'll get you in. I'm guessing it's the other Red Bull, BB Reciter, or whoever you are. But whilst we wait for him to put it up, I'll get a few other people in. So let's invite Samster in, because I know he wants to talk. So the screen will go blue a little bit here and there, but we'll try and get as many people in as possible, because we do have a few minutes. So we'll scroll down to try and get Samster in. Right then, so the next two drivers that I've invited, Samster and Lakitu. Samster has just joined the party. Hopefully your microphone settings have allowed your voice to be shared. Samster, obviously you're the lobby host as well, so you get this started as well. As I was saying to Owen, a 1:27 seems to be the benchmark time to hopefully get into the Prestige tier. Initial thoughts and expectations around Silverstone? Do you think you can get into the 1:27s, or is this a circuit that you continually seem to struggle at so far in this game?
It's a good track for quality night, because I think it's quite balanced on pad and wheel, and I'm on the pad. I've done a bit of practice earlier, maybe like an hour or so, and it's been difficult. I feel like the game's changed a little bit with maybe track limits and the car's feeling a bit different and tweaking setups, but it's the fastest time. It's not as fast as I thought so far, but it's always difficult to compare time trial to practice times, but I'm hoping I can be near the top-ish and get a low 27 at least.
Yeah, have you done much practice around Silverstone? Maybe not leading up to this tonight, but maybe other league events you've done as well. Obviously this game has been out for a couple of months, so most of the drivers, probably including yourself, have done many laps around all the circuits. So just moving away from overall lap time and looking at the setups as well, is there anything you might be changing on your setup tonight from previous events as well, or have you sort of found the setup that you feel comfortable and quick on, and you're going to carry that into this qualifying night?
Yeah, I think what I've learned more importantly is a big change I make from time trial is the tyres can overheat, and that can cost you in fast corners and either understeering or losing the rear. And if you lose the rear through a lot of these corners, then it's not savable, because you're going at such a high speed. So I might change the tyre pressures a bit lower. I think a lot of other drivers do that. And the other thing is there are a lot of places where traction is very difficult. So it's very difficult to get the power, especially if you like the first few corners, turns like 3 and 4. So I might maybe up the rear wing or etc. But I think I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah, we've also been seeing as well from all the other sessions tonight, rather than going out there straight away on the soft tyres and pounding around for laps and laps and laps, people are going out there on the mediums and hards, putting in sort of banker laps, gauging the grip and the conditions on the track as well, and sort of psyching themselves up for that late push on the soft tyres. Is that something you're going to be doing as well, or are you ready match set to go out there early on the soft tyres and put in those quick laps straight away?
Well, the soft tyres wear really quickly, so you're only going to get one proper lap in. So the best thing to do, I think people will agree with me, is you want to save the softs to the end. So I'll try and use up my, I think I'll get two medium sets and one hard set. I'll try and do a couple sort of install laps on them. And towards the sort of 15-minute mark, I want to spend like a 5-minute block on each softs and try and get a decent lap and try and keep the wear and temps as low as possible so that I get the most out of the tyres as possible.
Okay, very much. Thank you very much for a couple of questions there. We'll invite a few more people in now, and hopefully they'll be able to join and give us their opinions before the qualifying night does take place here. So then another driver that's now in is the second Red Bull tonight of B. Retster. Just confirm, how the hell do I pronounce your name so I don't get it wrong each and every time?
It's BB and then it's Brettster.
Brettster. BB Brettster.
Yeah.
Okay then, well, BB Brettster, welcome to the little grid walk here before the fourth and final qualifying night tonight. You said in the chat you wanted to be invited. You have been invited, so now it's time to put your thoughts across. The 1:27 seems to be the benchmark time if you want to try and get into the highest tier. Feeling confident of getting into the 1:27s, or do you envision a little bit of a struggle for yourself around this circuit?
I definitely think I can get into the 127s. I was doing literally practice just there, and I got running on the medium tyres and set a 128.3, so definitely think it's possible.
Yeah, and towards the setup tonight, is there going to be any tweaks and changes during the course of the session? Because obviously with Park Foam off, you're free to make any changes you want. Or do you think you found the setup with the testing you've done before this to now go out there and nail those quick laps from the get-go?
I might put some more wing on the back, just like Zamster said, because the first sector is quite tricky on the rear tyres. But I reckon my setup will be fine for the practice session.
Yeah, I mean, you've got 30 minutes out there, so you've got plenty of time to do it. But do you envision maybe towards the end of the session, when everyone is out there on the soft tyres trying to put their final qualifying lap in, that you might come across a bit of traffic? I mean, it's a pretty wide and long circuit here, but with 20 drivers potentially on the circuit at the same time, you could end up tripping over each other. Is that something you're aware of? Do you look at the track map before you come out onto circuit and try and find yourself a bit of a gap, or is it a case of just absolutely go for it and see what happens?
Go for it and see what happens.
I love the confidence. I love the confidence. Well, thank you very much for jumping in and giving us your thoughts. I'll invite one more driver before we probably start the session. I think it's going to be starting in the next couple of minutes, so just bear with me a few seconds and I'll get one more final guy in.
Thank you.
So I've invited a couple of other drivers. Hopefully they will jump in soon. I'm going to give it about 30 seconds, and if no one else decides to join, I've been setting a few invites out there. Some people might want to join, others may not want to for whatever reason. Maybe they don't have a microphone, maybe they don't want to have their voices be heard, maybe they just want to focus on what's coming up soon. But we do have, I think, pretty much a full lobby. Yeah, we do. We have 20 drivers. There we go. So we're pretty much then going to have a busy circuit for the first 30, well, for the 4v 30-minute session, I can say. First few minutes will be fairly quiet, I feel. People will be going out there on the hards and medium tyres. I think I'm right in speaking that lap times won't really be counted unless they are on the soft tyres. And you can see there that the lobby is now, well, 10 of them out of the 20 are now ready, which means that the session countdown timer does start. Just 22 seconds left then. And it's going to be a 30-minute qualifying session here. The same as we saw at 6:30, 7:30 and 8:30 as well. As I said before, the times to look out for, well, ideally the 1 minute 27s to get yourself inside the prestige tier, but of course there's other drivers out there that won't be necessarily on the pace of that. They'll be looking to maybe get themselves comfortably in the 28s, set their sights on either the podium, precision or pinnacle tier as well. So here we go then, we're now going to the circuit. I'm going to go quiet again for a few seconds, and but do stay tuned, and we've got a very exciting final qualifying night session here very, very soon. So the session has now started, just under 30 minutes left as you can see. No one out on circuit yet, that's fine. There's plenty of time for these drivers to get out, but I do hear the V6 hybrid turbo engines starting to roar in the pit garages. Who will be first out on the circuit? It looks like VSR Wayne in the Mercedes is going to be first out on the circuit. Nope, he's been beaten out by an Alfa Romeo. We've got a couple of Williams cars ready to come out as well. So, oh, hello, there we go. So it's a busy pit lane already. We've got a driver out there already on the soft tyres. One of the Williams drivers, Unknown African or CPI Ferrari guys. Some of these guys I've never, with all due respect, heard of before. It's a brand new league to me, obviously. I'm sure I'll get to know all of these drivers over the coming few weeks as well. So it's going to be interesting to see the quickest and the slowest guys in this session. Again, it doesn't really matter if you are the quickest or the slowest. Also, it doesn't really matter about your overall quickest lap time. It is taken into account, but there's other factors as well that are taken in. Obviously, the league does go away after all of these events and make sure that there's some drivers out there that weren't particularly sandbagging, maybe trying to set slightly lower lap times to put themselves in a slightly lower tier to give themselves a better chance of being a champion. But I think, to be honest, pretty much all of these drivers do go out there all guns blazing. They all are competitive drivers. They all want to be the best. They all want to get into the highest tier possible to them. So it's the track's busy then. We've only got a few drivers left in the pits. Ollie Flavel has left the session. That's a shame. Hopefully he'll be able to reconnect. So VSR Wayne out on the circuit at the moment. FTR and Foggy ahead of him on the Williams. We'll bring up then at the moment the lap data. Telemetry we don't need so much. Fitted tyres I think we'll go for just now. We will change over to best in a few minutes time as well. So we've got Metzeven in the second Williams. He's out there already on the soft tyres. So he's either going out there for a sighter lap on these tyres, or he's going to go out there all guns blazing from the get-go to set his first lap time. I think they get 3 sets of soft tyres in this session, maybe 4. They certainly get a set of mediums and hards as well. You can see there that everyone's backing up a little bit, coming down into the final couple of corners through Vale and Club, just creating a little bit of space for himself on track. The last thing you want is that dirty, washy, draggy air from the car in front. Certainly at a place like Silverstone where there's lots of high to medium speed corners, the front wing downforce really does disappear following a car too close ahead of you. So Metzer is going for it a little bit. I'm not too sure. He doesn't look 100% committed on this lap, and if that's the case, he's pretty much burning through a set of soft tyres already. Other tracks are AOA Asania, I think. I'm butchering these names. ILRT Leon is out there. Flavel is still disconnected. Jesse is out on circuit as well. We've got one driver in the pits, and obviously that's the Racing Point that's disconnected. So who's going to be first to set a lap time here? Archie is in sector 2. Samster's on an out lap. I think it was VSR Wayne was one of the first, but I think Foggy is just behind him a little bit there, just negotiating via Maggots, Beckett's Chapel section as they come flying down the hanger straight, opening the DRS. There's a slow car on the right hand side. Oh, that was dangerous there. Obviously, ghosting is on, but the last thing you want to be doing is weaving like that down the hanger straight and getting completely in the way of drivers behind you setting fast laps. So VSR Wayne, I don't think he'll be the first across the line, but we'll stay with the Mercedes driver on the medium tyres. This is a banker lap, of course. Nothing serious can be taken from these lap times. He crosses the line in invalidated 1:27.9, and FGR Foggy does set the first official time in this qualifying session, a 1:31.4, which is being immediately eclipsed by AOI Asania. I don't know, I'm going to give up that one for now. 28.9 in the Haas car, and CPI Ferrari now goes quicker on a 28.6, also on the medium tyres. Metzer then 29.2 on the soft tyres. He won't be happy with that. I did say he wasn't really 100% committed in sector 1. And he's already burnt through a set of soft tyres. His teammate there is just off ahead of a circuit, just getting out of the way, and Metzer does exactly the same as well. So a few lap times coming in nice and early. Unknown African starts his lap as Ollie Flavel rejoins the session. Samster on the hard tyres, just coming down the hanger straight. Then we'll jump on board with the Ferrari as he moves the car over to the left-hand side for this blindingly, frighteningly quick Stowe corner, down into 6th gear to try and keep the wheel spin at a minimum. He's run wide. It might be an invalidation because of it. Through Vale and now into Club. Very tricky part of the section is to complete the lap as well. You get understeer and oversteer through it all the way through, even on the exit as well. Straighten up the car over the line. It wasn't an invalidation. A 29.052 on the hard tyres is not a bad lap indeed from Samster. So other drivers out there then. VSR Wayne coming back into the pits. Lakitu in the sister Mercedes is just coming through the absolutely fantastic Maggots and Beckett section, keeping in 7th gear, down to 6th, down to 5th again. He'll probably short shift up into 6th on the exit, coming onto the hanger straight, opening up the DRS as the Alfa Romeo goes fastest 28.5. He's made a mistake, run off the circuit, and Lakitu's lap time is now pretty much over and done with as well. So Jay, I'll just call him Jay, I'm not going to say his whole name, 28.592 is now the fastest on the hard tyres. So if he gets out there on the softs, he I think will be comfortably inside the 27s. 10 of the 20 have set lap time so far, most of them still in the pits. ILRT Leon is coasting down hanger straight. Brettster is where is he now? He is coming along the old main straight here into Copse Corner, over to the left hand side. Use as much of that curve as possible, fling the car in, don't take your foot off the gas at all, and then over to the right hand side again, coming through Maggots and Beckett's in that Red Bull. Just coming up now to a minute completed on this lap. Oh, the back end's very twitchy. He slid that car around and that lap will be pretty much ruined. So maybe a little bit more rear downforce is needed, or maybe he just needs to take a little bit more care going through that section. The car will bite and snap on you. So Brett Steven, his lap is pretty much going to be, he might complete it, but it's definitely not going to be competitive at all. So Ollie Venn is off the circuit at the moment, rally crossing then through Brooklands into Luffield. Hopefully he'll get back on the circuit. He's out there on the soft tyres. The Keto has made the change over onto the soft tyres as well. We've still got a few other drivers still yet to set lap times. So Unknown African with a 37.1 will pay no attention to that lap time. 31.8 down to a 28.5. So what's that? Just 3.3 seconds separates the 10 drivers that have set a lap time there. As we look now, we've got Kian in 8th place, Shapeli, or Shapelele, I think it is. Metzer all coming back into the pits. Mark SP out on the circuit at the moment on the hard tyres. So good evening to each and every single one of you that have tuned in. Maybe you're tuning in for this one, or maybe you've tuned in for all 4 of them. If you have, my hat's off to you for the dedication. It's 4 quite long qualifying sessions here, all one after the other. And if you've been here for each and every single one of them, then fair play to you. 22 and a half minutes left of this session as Mark SP comes around then to finish this lap off. Over the line, he might go again. 37.6. He was obviously probably saving ERS. As you can see there, the yellow bar is quite full on the dash reader as his ILRT Leon, his teammate here for tonight, just moves out of the way to allow Mark to continue on his merry way. So Jay still has the quickest time so far on the hard tyres. The quickest time on the soft tyres is Metza on a 29.2. Chapelele sounds like a beginning of a song, doesn't it? But he's in 8th place at the moment on the soft tyres. We've got a few other drivers coming out on circuit as well. So we'll have a look at the best. Any difference there? Not at the moment. No, you can see there that some of the drivers on the hard tyres now making a change onto the mediums. We've got Owen Wyatt out on circuit, who we spoke to earlier, in the Red Bull at the moment. So we'll jump on board with him to see how he's going to approach the end of this lap as well. Just coming down the hanger straight, the DRS is open, the letterbox on the rear, improving that top speed all the time into Stowe corner. Just running wide just a little bit. Now through Vale, down into the club corner, or the club chicane, left and right, and then the final corner as well. Another right-hander again. Car very twitchy through here. You've got to sort of upshift a bit early, and he does set the fastest time so far for 28.244 on the medium tyres. I think he'll be relatively happy with that. He wanted to get into the 27s. He's on course for doing that once he makes a change onto those Red Bull soft tyres. So VSR Wayne also out on circuit as well, just negotiating Cop's corner down towards Maggots and Beckett's. Lakitu off the circuit but back on it as well on those medium tyres. CPI Harry being wheeled back into the pits. ILRT Leon also coming back into the pits as well. So Brett is back out there as well. Ollie Flavel coming back in. So we've got some drivers out there, some drivers in. Hello, Archie at the moment is out there now on the medium tyres. He's on a fast lap. You can see the way that car moves through Maggots and Beckett's. And then through Chapel, opening up the DRS, down the hanger straight again. And this will be Ella Archie's first competitive time, if he does complete it in this qualifying session. We're a third of the way through then, 20 minutes left to go. We'll start to see more and more drivers, I think, make the switch onto the soft tyres, and Archie there either made a complete mistake or got the invalidation and just nipped across the other side of the circuit into the pit lane to come back in. No point staying out there if there's no point in running. Jesse then hasn't set a lap time yet. 14th place in the session so far for Haas. It's running a little wider through Luffield, but it is quite advantageous to run wide in the middle part of Luffield then to try and straighten the car up for the exit to get the best purchase you can down the back straight through Woodcut into Cops. It's running wide again over that curbing into Maggots and Beckett's. So 12 of the 20 drivers have set lap times. Most of them on the medium tyres at the moment. They'll certainly make the change onto the softs in the next 4 or 5 minutes. Just the Red Bull there moving out of the way as Jesse makes his way down hanger straight into Stowe corner. Number 22. Is he going to come in the pits? He is going to come in the pits then. So he wasn't happy with that lap time. He's back in, as is a Toro Rosso ahead of him. So we've got a few drivers out there. FTRL Foggy there on the mediums. TB230791 also out there, just coming out of Cop's corner into Maggots and Beckett's again. And Metza's left the session. And he's in 4th place on the soft tyres, so I don't think he's left it for his own accord. I think he's just had the blue screen of death, and hopefully he'll be back in. And so I don't think he'll be particularly happy. We've got a Williams in the background, that's Foggy. He's spun it then, coming out the Chapel curve. Fortunately, damage is off for this session, which means that these guys can make mistakes and rejoin the circuit, so his session will not be over. So he's obviously lost it then, coming through Chapel curve and just spun into the inside wall as Samster in the Ferrari now sets the fastest lap time of 28.004 on the mediums, so he's getting quicker and quicker as well, and I'm sure once he's on the softs he'll be well inside the 1 minute 27. So FGR Foggy will go again, clearly just trying to save as much ERS as possible before he comes across the line. The bar isn't all the way up there, so he will be down on ERS a little bit. Other drivers out there at the moment. Chapelele out there on the softs again. I think this is probably the challenge now to change it over to the best. See best lap times, because pretty much everyone is going to be wanting to run the soft tyres from here on out, I think, to the end of the session. Again, this is quite new to me. There might be glaringly errors that I've missed. There might be things that I haven't picked on. There might be things I'm talking about that are plain wrong in One Hub. This is very new to me, this qualifying night. I've never experienced anything like this before. Any commentary I've done for any league or anything like that, it's always been straight into the race and away you go. But this is a very unique thing that One Hub do, and I'm all for it, to be honest. It gives us an opportunity to get into the session. And Chapelele off the circuit. So that lap is completely ruined, and Asani is off the circuit as well. So we're seeing quite a few spinners out there at the moment. These guys obviously pushing the limits of the grip that's available to them. And he will safely rejoin the circuit and carry on his many ways. So yeah, this is a very unique thing that One Hub Racing does with the qualifying night to determine who goes where into what tier. Of course, the only thing that's happening tonight is the tier, well, will be the tier placements, drivers pairing up with each other and then choosing what car they're going to be in. That will happen in a few weeks from now, and the real season won't really start until well into September, which I'm all for. The game's been out for a few months. There's been bugs and glitches from day one. And leagues like One Hub Racing here that are biding their time, waiting for the game to be as perfect as it can be before they start their official season. I'm all for it. It shows how professional the league can really be by just sitting back, not rushing it, getting everything ready in order, getting all the drivers in, getting all the dates lined up, getting all the website and the Twitter pages ready to go. And then when they're ready, right, let's crack on with the season. And that's exactly what we're doing here with these 4 qualifying nights. Samster then, as we reach almost the halfway point in this session, the quickest so far on a 1:28.004, but best part of nearly half the field have yet to set lap times. I'm sure these lap times will tumble and we'll see some more soft runners out there very, very soon. So Owen White currently in second place on a 28.244. He's now out there on the soft tyres, and I wouldn't be surprised if a few others out there on the soft tyres as well. CPI Ferrari in 4th place is on the softs. Mark SP is still on the medium, still pounding round, and he's now going for his first lap on the medium tyres. AOI coming out in 7th place, he's on the soft tyres. Unknown African in 8th is he's still on the mediums. Archie on the hards. Chapalele back out on circuit on the mediums as well. So it's taking its time for these drivers to get onto the soft tyres. We've got Jesse out there on the soft tyres as well. Brett still pounding around on the mediums for now. We've got a few other drivers in the pits. VSR Wayne is out there on the soft tyres. Lakitu, his teammate for tonight, is also coming out of the pits as well. So we'll take a lap on board with VSR Wayne then, as he's created some good space ahead and behind. This is a lap then of Silverstone, the world famous and absolutely fantastic Silverstone, out of Club Corner then, along the new main straight, grandstands on the left, pit garages on the right, fling it into Abbey with all of the determination and might, the right and then the left through farm curve, braking heavy on the left hand side for turn 3, Village, try and clip the curb if you can on the inside, over to the right for the very slow and very sluggish loop corner at turn 4, and then up shifting as quickly as you can, keep it on the gas through Aintree, down the Wellington straight, opening up the DRS, keeping over to the right hand side, brake very late for Brooklands. This is a corner that you can turn in very late, clip the apex right there, over to the right hand side for Luffield. You can drag the car wide to get yourself a better exit through the corner here, which is what he does. Keep away from the exit curve as much as you can, because the gravel on the outside, through Woodcut, which is flat here, use as much of the track as you can, over the old start finish line here, again grandstands on the left, pit boxes on the right, straight into Cops as best as you can, keeping that speed high. Now through the absolutely fantastic Maggots and Beckett section, left, right, left, down into 6th, right hander down into 5th, use the curb, drag the car wide, up into 6th, up into 7th, open up the DRS again, it's being extended down the hanger straight, building that top end speed all the time, over to the left, brake as late as you can into Stowe Corner, down 2 gears to 3 gears into 5th, drag the car wide, up into 6th, up into 7th, and then brake as late as you can for Club Corner. The car will understeer and oversteer constantly through here, left and then right, try and straighten up the car, keep turning into the right, use the curb, over to the left, over the line he goes, and VSR Wayne in the Mercedes sets our first competitive lap time on the soft tyres, a 1:27.144, and we wait to see what other people can do. Samster in seconds now out in the softs. Owen coming back into the pits, he wasn't happy with that particular set. CPI for other guy just finding himself some space. We've got Jay out there as well, Mark SP still running on the medium tyres, so now we're starting to see some of these guys come out onto the soft tyres, just seeing what they fitted there. Majority of the field, probably only about 5 or 6 drivers there, not yet on the soft tyres. So this is the time then when pretty much the quickest lap times will now be posted. VSR Wayne 27.144. If I was a betting man, that is going to be more than enough to potentially get himself into the prestige tier for this season. So AI then, he's late back into the pits as well. He was obviously unhappy with that lap time, might have invalidated for whatever reason, but he's back in now. So we've got a few drivers still in the pits, some now out on circuit. Kian out there in 14th place for the Racing Point. He's on the soft tyres as well. Nice onboard shot here on the right hand side. Not opening up the DRS, so he's obviously abandoning this lap or getting himself set up for a second bite at the cherry. TV out there on the soft tyres as well. FTR or Foggy is coming back out of the pits. I believe he's on the soft tyres as well. He is. So we'll keep up the best from now on, so we know, because like I said, I do believe that the best lap time you set on the mediums and hards won't count. I think it has to be the best lap time or your quickest lap time you set on the softs. If I am wrong, anyone watching in the chat, do let me know. I'm still very, very raw and new to this. So VSR Wayne of the fastest time. Samster them on the soft tyres, just a 10th off. Jesse now into 3rd place, also on them soft tyres, immediately being eclipsed by Lakitu. So both the Mercedes drivers here tonight running very well. And VSR Wayne, Samster and Lakitu, I think there's good lap times there. Should be enough to get himself into the prestige tier unless something amazing happens between now and the beginning of the season. So Foggy then just completing his outlap. And Ollie Flavo then, who lost connection earlier on in the session, back in his car, back out on circuit on those soft tyres. Jump on board with the strawberry and cream and liveried Racing Point with the splashes of the BWT blue logo all over that car. Down then into Stowe Corner, down into 5th gear. Not as aggressive as we've seen before. I don't think this is a competitive lap. It isn't indeed. Back into the pits he comes. CPI Harry is coming back into the pits. He is, yep. He's just waiting for his mechanics at the end of the pit lane. So VSR Wayne back in the pits. 10 minutes left of his session. Samster obviously coming back in after his run. Lakitu and Jesse will be doing the same as well. But Owen White then, he's the next car that is going to be setting a competitive lap time there, just weaving left to right, trying to get as much heat into those tyres as he can. You can see there the yellow bar on his dash readout means he is maximum on the ERS, so he can push as much as he likes on this lap then. I'll come off board with the Aston Martin Red Bull, see how he takes turn 1 and 2 through Abbey and Farm. Nice and planted in that car as well. No real significant sign of body roll. Now into Village, turn 3. Over to the right for the loop. Silly corner name, silly corner. Turn 4, out of that. Accelerating all the time through Aintree. Opening up the DRS as he comes down the hanger straight. And now brake as late as you can. Pretty much 50-60 yards away. 50-60 metres if you like, away from Brooklands. And then into Luffield. Drag the car wide. Pitch it back in on the exit of the apex. Staying well away from the exit curve there. Through Woodcote, I can say. And across the old start-finish line. It's of course still used for the support races and such like. And then into Copse Corner. Yet again, over to the right-hand side. Maggots and Beckett's. How does the car handle through here? Fits like a glove so far. Oh, running a little bit wide there. But through Chapel, opening up the DRS. He's still pushing. Don't think this will be the fastest time. But he will certainly get himself inside the 1 minute 27s. But I don't think Owen will be particularly happy with how Maggots and Beckett's went. He'll definitely be going out again towards the end of the session to try and improve his lap time. Through Vale and now down into Club. Currently in 5th place, a 28.244 set on the medium tyres. It should comfortably be well within inside the 27s. It's not. It's only a 28.105. So the mistakes he made there were more significant than I realised. He'll definitely go again because Owen definitely is a driver that can get himself well inside the 27s. So Brett Setter out there. Jay Metzer still in the pits. We haven't seen much of him. As we've got another Mercedes coming out of the pits, going again. Mark Espy now onto the soft tyres, completing his outlap. His teammate for tonight, RLT Leon, still in the pits. So just 8 minutes left then of this qualifying night. And Shapali's just improved, 5th place. Archie coming across the line, his teammate for tonight. He now starts his flying lap. So Shapali, a 28.000. You could get closer if you tried. And all these guys now, whether they're on a fast lap or they're just about to start one or just completing one, they'll all have another go on the soft tyres if they deem it necessary. We've got Mercedes just jumping out the way there of Archie. FTRL Foggy is now out on the soft tyres as well. Ollie is yet to set his first lap time, and I believe he's out there on the medium tyres. And CPI Harry is also yet to set his first lap time, also on the medium tyres. So we'll come back to, we did have a driver that was quite close, so we've got Kian here, who is completing his first lap on the soft tyres. I think this will be in the 28s. It's not actually, it's a 27.6, but he did invalidate. So good news and bad news for him. Bad news is that lap hasn't counted, but good news, he knows he's got the pace to get himself well inside the 1 minute 27s. And that's where you want to be if you want any chance of getting into the Prestige tier. Of course, you've got to remember, it's not all set on tonight. You set the fastest time, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be in the Prestige tier. Other factors are taken into account. We want to make sure, or the league wants to make sure, that some of the drivers out there aren't sandbagging. They're not on purposely setting slower lap times to put themselves in a more favourable tier for themselves, as VSR Wayne gets ever so close to getting into the 126s with a 127.100. And of course the league goes away and looks at other relevant time trial times as well to really gauge the overall performance of most of these drivers through the course of the season. But they seem to get it pretty much right. All four tiers seem pretty competitive with all the drivers that are inside them. So pretty much everyone out there on the soft tyres, I feel. We've got Samster taking it easy through Maggots and Beckett's. He's clearly going for another run as well. So we need to focus on the drivers that are further down the order, I should say. FTRL Foggy is on the soft tyres. Here comes Kian again then. So we know he set a 127.6 on his first run. He's going again on the second run. So he's taking a lot of life out of his soft tyres. And in fact, he deems it not good enough to post himself a good lap time, as he absolutely steams into the pit lane there. So he's got time to get back in, make some changes onto his setup, make a few little tweaks here and there, put on another set of soft tyres, and then get back out there on circuit as well. So LR Archie still yet to set his first lap time. For some unknown reason, I can't move up for whatever, so we'll go down. So VSR Wayne, we know, is the fastest so far. Jay out there coming down the hanger straight. Samster, Lakita, all of these guys in their 27s. We don't need to pay too much attention to them right now. We need to see these guys further down here to see what they're doing. A lot of drivers coming in and out of the pits. Mark SP on an outlap. He's now on those soft tyres as a Red Bull flashes behind into the pit lane. I highlighted Leon still in the pits, as is Archie as well. So Mark SP then, the next driver, hoping to post a competitive lap time on these soft tyres. Renault E-Tech car. Straight into Abbey and Farm Curve. Lakitu is the first driver then into the 126s with a 26.989. Both the Mercedes drivers look uber competitive here tonight, and I think both of them will be in the Prestige tier once the season starts in September. But we won't talk about them. We'll focus on Mark SP for now. Coming down into complete Sector 1. Currently in 13th place on a 28.9, which is set on those hard tyres. So he definitely wants to try and get himself in the 27s if possible. Just completing through Luffield, then through Woodcut. And now, of course, again, the old start to finish straight into Copse Corner. We'll jump on board. How does he take Copse? Not bad. I don't think there was a bit of a lift there. He just turned it in a bit more of an acute angle. Now through Maggots and Beckett's. And let's see how all this gets on. Left, right again. A little bit scrappy there, I thought, in the last couple of corners of it. And he's opening the DRS, so he's still pushing. It says outlap in the top right, but I don't think it's an outlap. And now down into Stowe Corner. Careful not to run wide too much through here, through Vale. And now down into Club. And in fact, he's not even going to take Club. He's straight back in the pits as well. So then, this is the order. As you can see there on the left-hand side. Just 3.5 minutes left of the session. Most of the drivers, you can see now in the pits, doing that final little change, final little tweak on the setup, gearing himself up for one final run. Brettster is out on circuit, so we'll have a look at the guys not yet on the soft tyres, or not yet set lap times on the soft tyres. Archie is one of them. As he crosses the line now to start his lap. So we'll stay with Archie, because it's going to be about 30 or 40 seconds before everyone above him comes out of the pits. Pretty sure if we go to fitted, yeah, everyone's on the softs. Everyone's now on the softs. So this is it then. This is the final one-shot quali do-or-die attempt from these drivers to post the best lap time they can to put themselves in a position to get into the highest tier possible for these drivers. Doesn't matter what tier you're in, you could be in the Podium Tier all the way up to the Prestige Tier. Points and prizes can be won. If you finish first in the Podium Tier, you are the champion. You are the 1HUB champion for season 14, and you get a nice little trophy sent to you as well, which I think every driver does want on their mantelpiece. So Archie then coming into Cop's Corner then. Probably for the final time. He won't have enough ERS or tyre life to have 2 laps on this set of soft tyres. This is important for Archie. If he makes a mistake here, he's going to rue his opportunity tonight. 30 minutes and he failed to set a competitive lap time at any point on the soft tyres. So this lap has to count. He has to make this count. He's coming up out lap again on the right hand side. So is he invalidated again? Yeah, he has. He's backed out. He's backed out. So he's going to have to try his best to save the tyres, ERS and fuel, and try to go again. He won't have enough time. If he pits now, he won't have enough time to get around again for another lap. You can see there, Unknown African and Metza are remaining in the pits. And I think Archie has come into the pits. No, he's going again then. So he will go again. Kian out there as well on his out lap. All of his drivers on the out lap. Ollie is the only one I think that's on a flying lap at the moment. As he completes sector 2 down the hanger straight. So then we'll see what you can do through Vale and Club. Left and right, and then right again. Ollie down in 19th, hasn't set a lap time yet, so this will be his first lap time, and it is into the 27 to 27.736. That's his session over. So he has managed to get into the 27s and then immediately retires from the session. Yeah, that's expected. These tyres and the ERS and the fuel is only really good enough for 1 lap. So now I'm going to be flipping through the order, trying to find the quickest guys. I'm not too bothered, to be honest, about the guys in the 26s and 27s. I'm more bothered about the guys that have yet to set quick lap times on the soft tyres. So we'll be focusing more on them. We can see that Lakitu, Wayne, Jay, Samster, Jesse, we know they're very, very quick. So it's not like a competition tonight to see who's the quickest. We don't need to be with the quickest cars. We need to see who can set their fastest lap times from all of these guys, and question marks remain over everyone from about 13th downwards. Metza, he set his lap time very early in the session, I felt, and has pretty much remained in the pits since. Unknown African is back out on the circuit. He will just get enough time. So where's Mark SP in all this? He's coming down into Brooklands. ILRT Leon is a few seconds behind. LR Archie back into the pit. So Archie fails to set a competitive lap time on those soft tyres. He'll be disappointed with that, as Kian is where is he? He's coming through Aintree. So we'll focus on Epsy, who again is showing up that he's on an out lap. So Leon, we know, is on a quick lap. So his teammate SP for tonight is just ahead. Owen White's session is now over. Ollie has left the session as well. Yeah, these drivers are pretty much, they can retire, leave the session. It doesn't matter at this point. If they've done their best, there's no point hanging around. If they want to leave, they can. The question marks remain on ILRT Leon. Quick driver, can he get well inside the 27s? He needs to get inside the 27s, to be honest, as VSR Wayne is another driver in the 26s. A 917 may very well end this session as the quickest, and Leon will complete this lap then. The checker flag is out, the session is over. Coming through Club Corner for the final time. Should be in the 27s. It is just 27.915. We'll come down to Kian then. He's just coming through the final sector now through Vale and into Club. The rest of the lap times you can see are popping up ahead as well. SP has managed to get himself up 27.221. He'll be happy with that after the struggles of his session. And Kian gets himself in the 27s as well. 27.502. So we're just waiting for Brett, who's backed out of his lap, and that's pretty much it. That's the session over then. The rest of the cars, we've got Unknown African, who's on an out lap, so I think he's still on a flying lap. I'm pretty sure the session has finished, or he has certainly finished it now at least, and he sets a 27.991. He is in the 27s, only good enough for 14th. So with the other sessions out there that had lap times in the 27s, I think the cutoff possibly could be top 6 or top 7. We'll have to wait and see. It's not my decision to make. I'm sure we'll find out who is in what tier in the next coming weeks. But that is the session pretty much over and done with then. The Mercedes of VSR Wayne and Lakitu, the only 2 drivers inside the 26 is Jay for the Alfa Romeo Sauber team is in 3rd place. Mark SP at the very end of the session up into 4th. Samstar, who's left the session already, in 5th place. So I'll take a quick break here and just wait for the final classification to come up. there we go then. Just to reiterate what I said just a few seconds ago, both the Mercedes and the only two drivers in the 26s. When Jay 27.1, Mark SP 27.2, Samster 27.29, Jesse 27.3, VRT Chaparelli 27.4, 7.5 for Kian, 7.6 for Brett, 7.7 for Ollie, Owen White a 7.8 in 11th. Then we've got IRT Leon and AOI Asani, I think it's Asani, also inside the 27s, as well as Unknown African 27.991. The 28 then CPI Ferrari Gay 28.0, CPI Harry 28.3, Metza 28.7, TB 29.0, Archie in 19th on the hard tyres, and FTRL Foggy with a 29.8. That's it then, that's pretty much the session over, and that was the fourth and final qualifying session as well from tonight. So thank you very much to everyone that has tuned in for all four of these sessions tonight, and hopefully some news will be announced in the next coming weeks of who is going in what tier, and I'm sure that season 14 is going to bring a lot of excitement. So thank you very much for watching tonight. My name is Alex Lilliart, and I'll see you guys soon once the season gets going.